Holding crayfish, I returned to the office when Noble called me again. "Lizzy, do you know the man we saw in the hall?" Noble asked me. "Who is he?" "He is our boss. What's the matter?" "I'm curious." "I met him outside. He asked me what I had to do with you." Noble smiled embarrassedly. "He seems to be very hostile to me. Lizzy, does he like you?" I denied. "Noble, you are wrong. How could he like me? He is always trying to dismiss me." Noble immediately worried. "Big boss doesn't like you, Lizzy. You have to find a way to solve this problem. Is it because of a mistake in your job?" "Yeah, I must get things done this time. I'll find a way to win back his trust." I had a lot of things to deal with. I just wanted to finish the call. I had a lot of things to deal with. I just wanted to finish the call. I had a lot of things to deal with. I just wanted to finish the call. I had a lot of things to deal with. I just wanted to finish the call. "Noble, don't worry, I'll be fine. I have to work now, and I will invite you to dinner when I'm finished." There was a meeting the next morning. I would show the final modeling of the new product to other departments. Unexpectedly, William also attended. I was fully prepared, strictly controlled all details, and there was no problem. Therefore, I was very calm during the lecture. The conference room echoed with my strong voice. The whole process went smoothly and no one raised any objection. I put my heart and soul into it and completely forgot William, sitting there with a cold face. At the end of the lecture, I accidentally caught his eye. Unexpectedly, in his eyes I saw a bit of appreciation. Am I blind? When I looked at him carefully, he had already looked away. It doesn't matter. As long as I can finish the task successfully, even if he doesn't like me, he can't dismiss me. The meeting went very smoothly. According to this progress, there would be no problem in product filing after 15 working days. I sat down with satisfaction and Katie secretly showed her admiration from the other side of the conference room. After the meeting, I took my laptop and went back to the office with Katie. "Lizzy, you look amazing today." Katie praised me as clear-headed, scientific, and reasonable, especially excellent. Of course, I tossed my head. Working overtime is not for nothing. Katie looked around and squeezed her eyes at me in a low voice. "Lizzy, I think Mr. Chuang is interested in you." I rolled my eyes. "I think you need to have your eyes checked." "Really?" I watched him secretly, and the way he looked at you was full of appreciation. Katie added with an evil interest, "And he seemed to have taken a few glances at your chest." "Get out!" I reached out and pinched her waist. "Stop talking nonsense." Back in my seat, Katie's words, "The way he looks at you is full of appreciation," were still ringing in my mind. Was it true? I was not dazzled. Did he really look at me with admiring eyes? Since he admires me, why does he treat me so badly? Is it easy to satirize me and humiliate me? I thought for a long time, and finally, I understood. The recognition of me at work, even a little appreciation, can't change his bad impression of me at all. He has already considered me as a frivolous and dissolute woman who delights in seducing men. It doesn't matter. I just work here. I do not need to explain to anybody about my private life. I don't care about what he thinks of me. I just want to do my job well. At last, I can earn a lot of money to support my family. Soon, the day of the acceptance check came. Heads of departments gathered to confirm the filing materials for the last time. They signed one by one for approval, and Mr. Lin followed up the whole process and carefully signed his own signature. The last person to sign is William Chuang. Seeing he signed his name and handed the document to the department assistant, I was finally relieved. I did it! I really did it! In half a month and 15 working days, I have climbed the steepest mountain and finished the so-called impossible task. I did my best to bear the responsibility. I am not ashamed of my position or my team. Then there was applause in the conference room. Mr. Lin took the lead in applauding, and everyone looked at me approvingly. This time, I saw clearly that William's eyes were full of admiration. I stood up and tried to thank everyone, but my whole strength seemed to have been evacuated. I couldn't see anything for a moment. Then I fell to the ground. When I woke up, I was in the hospital. The night was deep and dark. William was sitting on the sofa beside my bed, with his head down thinking about something. Apparently, he was not in a good mood. Why is he here? I was struggling to get up. Hearing the noise, William came up. He put my arms back into the quilt. Lie down and don't move. I'm fine. I want to go back. I want to get up again. I felt sticky and uncomfortable in my lower body. I want to go back to take a bath and change my clothes to have a good sleep. William stared at me, his eyes fixed on me unblinkingly. I was so angry with him that I lost my temper. What are you looking at? In the face of my bad attitude, William's tone was unexpectedly mild. You have miscarried. You'd better lie down. I stare at him. What? Abortion? What is he talking about? I felt my belly, and my face turned pale instantly. Abortion. My menstruation has been delayed for nearly a week. I was too busy this period of time. I completely forgot about it. So I was pregnant and miscarried. When was your last period? William suddenly asked me. I haven't recovered yet. Answered instantly without thinking. 16th. When I said it, I realized his intention and clenched my lips in a complicated mood. It was mine. He frowned ruefully. I've covered all the hospitalization expenses, nutrition expenses, and wages. It is important for you to have a rest. I felt upset. He knew it. He knew it was his baby. I had tried so hard to be pregnant. Now it's gone. My hope of being a single mother was shattered again. I have to endure my mother's nagging and start the weekly blind date again. I was disheartened and lay on the bed with my eyes wide open. I didn't want to say a word. Lizzy, didn't you take any contraception method when you screw around with men? William suddenly squeezed my chin in a cold tone. His attitude irritated me. I stared at him angrily. Yeah, I am so willful. We slept together once. That's true. But it doesn't mean he has the right to judge me. How could he humiliate me like this? We looked at each other coldly. The atmosphere between us was very tense. If our eyes could kill, we would have been killed 10,000 times by each other. A knock on the door suddenly sounded. Come in, William said with a cold face. The person who came in was Noble. Seeing William, he was obviously shocked. Lizzy, how are you? Are you better? I called you, but your phone was turned off all the time. I was worried about you. So I went to your company. Then I found out that you had fainted and hospitalized. Noble was carrying a lot of nutrition and a bunch of flowers. I'm fine. Perhaps it's because I'm too tired this period of time. It'll be better if I rest for a couple of days. I wanted to talk to Noble, so I suggested William leaving. Mr. Chuang, since my classmates come, it's time for you to go back home and take a rest. William's face darkened instantly, just like the sky before the storm. Noble put down his things and touched my forehead anxiously. Lizzy, have you been checked? Why did you faint? Before I could answer, I heard William's cold voice. She fainted because she was pregnant with my child and miscarried. I will never forget Noble's expression in my life. Shock, disappointment, disbelief, embarrassment, pain, and unspeakable contempt. I had a sharp pain in my heart. I didn't know when Noble left. I had been staring at William so intensely that I quivered with rage. William, this son of a bitch. He has no right to expose my privacy. How dare him? I once believed his gene was perfect, so I intended to have a child with him. Well, it's my damn fault. William seemed to be in a good mood after Noble left. He handed over a glass of water with a straw in it. Don't stare at me like that. Aren't your eyes tired? I smashed the cup. Get out of here. William, you bastard! You are even worse than a shameless, doty beast. When the water spilled all over him, he didn't even get angry. Instead, he leaned over and said softly in my ear, Yes, I am a bastard, shameless and dirty, but I was your child's father. Dr. Noble is good and gentle. However, he has not even touched your hand, has he? I tried to slap him in the face, but he took my wrist and gave me a gentle kiss on the back of my hand. Take good care of your illness. We'll settle accounts when you get well. Fuck you. Get out! I blew the dirtiest swear word in my life. William left gracefully. I closed my eyes and felt extremely sad. What would Noble think of me? Seeing the nutrition and flowers he brought on the table, I couldn't help crying. I told my mother I was going on a business trip and stayed in the hospital for 7 days. Noble didn't make a phone call or send a text these days. Caddy was the only one who often came to see me. By the way, Lizzy, guess who I saw in the company today? Caddy asked as she peeled apples for me. Who did you see? I asked weakly. Caddy said excitedly, Your sister, Candy. Candy? What is she doing at Liam Corporation? My curiosity was finally aroused. I don't know. Anyway, I went to the top-level meeting room and saw her come out of the president's office. She dressed beautifully. Her skirt is too short to cover her underwear. Katie handed me the apple. Is Wu's family doing business with Liam Corporation? I thought for a while and understood. Peter Wu wants to match Candy with William. There are many ways. For example, they can start from create some business contacts. While I was eating the apple, Katie began to gossip. Hey, Lizzy, I really think William has some ideas about you. I ignored her, and she continued. You fainted that day. He was the first to rush over and pick you up. What a man. I was indifferent. I didn't tell Katie about the abortion. William, this son of a bitch. I was so ashamed that I had tried to have a baby with him. The cell phone rang, and I saw that it was the company's administrative department, so I picked it up. Director Wu, the company has arranged for you to travel overseas. I sent an email to your mailbox and you haven't answered. Now I want to count the number of people traveling abroad to Mr. Chuang for confirmation. Can you please reply to my email? I was confused. Overseas tour? What is it? Oh well, the company organized executives to go to the Maldives. Mr. Chuang asked me to add your name as well. Do you see when you have time to reply to the mass email? Chuang asked me to add your name as well. Do you see when you have time to reply to the mass email? Oh, I'll reply in a minute. Thank you. After hanging up the phone, I felt a little strange. I told Katie about it and asked her, Katie, did the company inform you about the trip to the Maldives? Katie looked envious. I'm just a junior executive. I'm not qualified to take part in high-level overseas tours. The Maldives is where senior executives go. We can only go to other small countries. Then why did they inform me to go? Katie and I are on the same level. Mr. Chuang has a crush on you. Katie grinned. Take advantage of the opportunity to get close to you. I pretended to despise her. Is it because of my outstanding performance in this job? So I have been specially rewarded? Everything is possible. Katie winked at me. Lizzy, don't forget about your friend, me, when you are wealthy. After spending 7 days in the hospital, I returned home. My mother was overjoyed when she saw me. Are you tired of a business trip? I cooked your favorite stewed elbow. Vivian doesn't have any classes at the cram school today. We can have a good meal together. I handed the clothes I bought for my mother. Mom, I bought them for you. Try it. My mother's face was full of happiness, but she still pretended to complain. When will you be able to correct this problem of spending money indiscriminately? I don't lack clothes. You can save the money you earn, and there will be plenty of room to spend it when you get married and have children. After a while, my sister came back and told me when she saw me. Sister, there you are. I'll tell you one thing that may drive you crazy. What is it? I went shopping with my mother at the supermarket last Saturday and met Lily and Candy Wu. My sister was very aggrieved. What have they done to you? My heart is hanging up. Stretched out my hand and touched my sister's head. Lily satirized our mother, saying that her clothes were cheap and she was old and ugly. My sister said angrily. I didn't care, said, well, she is definitely jealous. She is so ugly and jealous of our beautiful mother. This is true. My mother was a great beauty when she was young, and she still has a beautiful charm. Lily just dresses up and looks very ordinary. Also, Candy Wu said your boss, Mr. Chuang, would soon become her boyfriend. And you wouldn't be able to work at Liam Corporation for a long time and would soon be thrown out of the company. My sister looked at me anxiously. Sister, is it true what she said? Bullshit. I took my sister's hand. Forget about it. Let's have dinner. I'm doing well at Liam Corporation. Candy just talked nonsense. Don't believe her. I didn't expect to see Candy in the company the next day. At that time, I was about to go to the conference room for an interview when I saw Candy and William Chuang in the corridor. Candy, wearing heavy makeup, with a white strapless skirt with tassels and a platinum bag from Hermes, walked coquettishly beside William Chuang. I walked forward with a cold face, ignoring them. Lizzy, Candy stopped me. Why are you so impolite? Didn't you say hello when you saw Mr. Chuang? She put on a haughty look and very close to William Chuang. I think it's funny. Where did you get the commandor? It screamed at anyone. Even the owner didn't say anything. Why it acts so hostily? Commandor is one of the top 10 ugly dogs in the world. His white hair is like a mop, which is similar to Candy's fringe skirt. This metaphor must be too vivid. I saw William Chuang smile. Candy became angry from embarrassment and started talking to William Chuang. William, look at her. She has a knife-like mouth. How can she talk so unkindly to a girl like me? William Chuang didn't answer her question. He stared at me with a smile on his face. He made me feel a little uncomfortable. His eyes were burning, making me inexplicably flustered. During the interview, my mind kept flashing back to his eyes. It made me upset. After the interview, I walked to the elevator door and found Candy waiting for me. I took her as air and didn't even bother to look at her, reaching for the elevator. Candy blocked my hand. Lizzy, are you trying to seduce William Chuang? I tilted my head lazily, deliberately tease her. Really? How do you know that? Candy gnashed her teeth. It is obvious. There is something wrong with the way he looks at you. I laughed. So, Candy, you are mistaken. Mr. Chuang is trying to seduce me. How could you be such shameless? William seduced you? Candy stared at me with contemptuous eyes. What do you have worth him to seduce? Do you have a pretty face or a big chest? I simply grieved her. You can ask William about this question. He knows my charm best. I know that with Candy's face-saving personality, she wouldn't ask William even if she was forced, so I can talk nonsense to my heart's content. Candy was fooled, and her eyes widened instantly. Is William chasing you? Uh-huh. I tossed my head angrily. He loves me to death. Ask him if you don't believe me. Just at that moment, the elevator came. I entered it and blew a kiss to Candy. In the seam of the slowly closing door, I was happy to see that her face was really, really ugly. In a good mood, I returned to my office. There is no need to work overtime today. I asked Katie out for dinner. When I was about to leave, I received a strange phone call. Hello. I picked up the phone. At the other end of the phone came William's voice. Lizzy Zoe, come to my office. William? Why is he looking for me? Did Candy, the fool, really run to ask him about our relationship? I won't admit it anyway. I walked into William's office very frankly, with a face of righteousness. I heard I love you to death. What explosive news William brought to me. He squinted at me, making me unable to see what he was thinking. I looked at him in surprise. Mr. Chuang, what are you talking about? Why can't I understand any single word of yours? I was very satisfied with my performance. I deserved 100 points for this. William stood up and walked beside me, looking down at me. He was much higher than me and stood in front of me, making me feel very oppressive. I stepped back to get rid of this oppressive feeling. No matter how far I stepped back, he would step forward. I was forced to the edge of the sofa. I was panicked a little. Mr. Chuang, if you don't have any other things to say, I'll go first. Before I finished speaking, he grabbed me into his arms, kissed me with his hot lips. Uh-huh. I panicked and struggled desperately. He was determined to kiss me, and his arms were so strong that I couldn't escape. His tongue pushed hard against my teeth, wrapped around my tongue, and sucked. I admit that I did not perform well. I struggled for a while, and then I gave up. His kisses were so intense that my breath was hard and my mind was blank. At last, when he let me go, I couldn't stand but to fall to the sofa. How embarrassed I was. I gasped and glared at him. I am ashamed of myself. Why am I so careless? I clearly hate him. Why did I respond to his kiss? Being single for a long time does not good for my health, psychologically and physically. Don't stare at me. Aren't your eyes tired? William seemed to be in a good mood. He sat down beside me and took me close to his arms. Lizzy, how about making a deal? Don't touch me. I threw him off. Sit in the corner of the sofa. Well, I have already touched you. William smiled with malicious intent. We have known each other so well. Don't pretend we have nothing. I should get up and leave immediately. I knew it. But my legs are too soft to stand up. I felt my face. It was very hot. Let's get married, William suddenly suggested. Totally shocked me. I looked at William with curious eyes. William, do you want to go to the hospital for examination? Is there anything wrong with your brain? William stretched out his hands on the back of the sofa in a relaxed manner. Don't be nervous. Fake marriage is just cheating the family. False marriage? I understand a little bit. How? There will be no wedding, but a certificate. We can keep it a secret. Only the family knows the truth. We are still single in public. Don't fool me. What can I get from it? I don't want to get married. I have already made up my mind to be single in my life. For a woman like me, who is financially and personally independent, marriage is a negative asset. It is not only useless, but also harmful. The marriage of parents is an awkward example. The advantage is that you don't have to go on blind dates and your mother won't nag you. He made a face, added, not to mention having a silly doctor as a plan B. I was angry. William, how dare you to investigate me? No wonder he called noble doctor last time in the hospital. He had been investigating me secretly for a long time. William smiled disapprovingly. How about it? Think about it. What an abominable smile he has. I stared at him. William, you are wrong. I have never used Noble as a backup. If there is one person in the world who makes me want to get married, it must be him. I really can't say it. Otherwise, I would like to tell him that when I seduced him in the bar, the fantasy in my mind was Dr. Noble. William's face darkened. He stared at me for a long time before he said, "What's the good of that stupid doctor who is bald? He chooses Chinese as the research field." And he can't even find a job when he leaves the postdoctoral station. What's the matter? Why is his tone a little sour? He must be jealous of Noble's academic qualifications higher than him. I defended Noble. What if he can't find a job? He is postdoctoral, who is knowledgeable. Unlike someone born with a silver spoon, relying on their own background, cheating, and bullying everywhere. William was speechless. I was so happy to see his embarrassment. I got up gracefully and left him a piece of advice. William, you can find Candy to get married under false pretenses. I think she will be very happy. I walked briskly out of his office, feeling a sense of accomplishment after winning the battle. During dinner with Katie, I talked about it as a joke. Katie called me stupid. You idiot, why don't you say yes? Fake marriage will not do you any harm. Think about it. If William becomes your husband, isn't it possible for him to protect you at work? I heard that the boss of the accounting department was secretly recruiting people to start his own business. If his position is vacant, you will have a chance. Then you can ask William for the position. But I was worried. What if something happened between us accidentally? Katie looked at me with vague eyes. Then you can enjoy the beauty of Mr. Chuang. I was totally speechless. Katie began to help me work out the plan. You can list your conditions. If he can promise, the deal can be done. Conditions? I was lost in thought. Do I really want to promise? I have so many conditions that I'm afraid he will refuse. Is there any ulterior motive behind his proposed fake marriage? After thinking about it, I couldn't figure it out. Maybe it's because his family urged him, and he just found someone to get married randomly. After all, he knew I wouldn't love him, and I wouldn't care if he played outside. Well, it must be. I agreed to William's proposal. The prenuptial agreement clearly stated, 1. The wife's side does not assume any obligation that the wife should do except to act in front of the elders. 2. Both parties shall live in their respective rooms. They shall not interfere in the private life of the other party. 3. Divorce 1 year later. The husband's party shall compensate the wife's party 500,000 yuan as the breakup fee. Katie's eyes were straight when she heard the contents of the agreement. Oh my God, this is simply an unequal treaty. Mr. Chuan lost a lot. I happily ate the apple. He proposed the marriage. I surely need to take advantage of him. Just don't lose yourself. Katie smiled. I think Mr. Chuang has a crush on you and wants to tie your wild heart with a marriage certificate. Oh, come on. He has a lover named Luna. I told Katie that night at the bar, William had been taking me as Luna. Ex-girlfriends are the past stories. Whose name in the marriage certificate is the real winner? Katie spoke eloquently. A week later, William and I secretly got a marriage certificate. Coming out of the Civil Affairs Bureau, I was in a bad mood. The marriage agreement. It seems that I took advantage of it. But looking at the bright red marriage certificate, my heart was still blocked. William was in a good mood. His mouth and eyes seemed to be smiling. I turned my head to stare at him from up to down. William, how do I feel I lost this deal? Don't be a fool. William grinned at me. Under the sun, he was tall and handsome, with a bright smile and glowing eyes, like a small sun. My heart seemed to have been hit by something, and I was so scared that I quickly looked away. Don't you want me to go home with you to meet your parents? Let's go. I turned and headed for the parking lot. This level will have to be passed sooner or later. I'd rather do it as soon as possible. Besides, I'm not afraid to see the elders either. I just need to smile cleverly and talk sweetly to make them happy. Only when I arrived at William's house did I realize that such a low-key villa was hidden in the heart of the city. The villa area is not large. The architectural style is elegant and unique, with green trees and flowers, lawns and lakes, and the environment is quiet. My parents have a dinner party today and will not be able to come back until tomorrow. We will see my grandparents first today, William explained to me. I nodded casually. Well, don't worry, I'll cooperate with your trick. William's grandparents had been waiting in the living room for a long time, seeing me come in. They stood up happily to meet me. I also changed into a sweet smile and walked towards them with dignified and elegant steps. Huh? What's happening? I found that Chuang's parents looked at my face for a moment and then quickly exchanged a look. What happened to my face? There is nothing wrong with my gorgeous face. Why are the eyes of the two old people so meaningful? Grandma, this is Lizzy. Lizzy, they're my grandparents. William made the introduction in a timely manner. Holding my voice, I sweetly said hello to the grandparents. Hi, grandparents. Nice to meet you. Oh, hi, Zoe. Nice to meet you too. Please take a seat. William's grandmother smiled kindly. William is a real child. He kept the secret for a long time that our family thought he was single and was in a hurry to find a girlfriend for him. Grandpa Zwan also smiled kindly. They used to say that our William is picky. I thought his favorite girl hasn't appeared. See, it's the time. We are all surprised that you get married in such a short time. Well, I smiled, beginning to whisper. Grandpa sounded like complaining. Who cares? It is William that should be complained about. It's none of my business. I cheer up to socialize. From Grandpa's temperament to Grandma's hairstyle, my mouth is as sweet as honey, which made them laugh. William didn't speak much. He was listening to all the time. His face was full of smiles, which made it hard to figure out his real thought. I am not satisfied with his performance. I performed so hard that he should at least nod to me, smile, or do something to affirm my efforts. After dinner, I realized William's evil intentions. At that time, I thought it was getting late and offered to leave. Then grandparents asked me to stay and said, "Stay here tonight and meet your parents-in-laws tomorrow. So we don't have to get up early tomorrow to come here." What they said was too reasonable for me to refuse. No wonder William can't wait to take me home to meet his elders. He chose the day when his parents are not here and will not come back until tomorrow. I have to stay at his house for one night. What does he want? Do you want to sleep with me, or is it really just a coincidence that I think too much? In the evening, William's grandmother directed the nanny and changed William's bed into a full set of bedding. In a room with a frigid style, the bright red brocade quilt looked ridiculous. I'd better sleep in the guest room. I sleep at night and snore loudly. I'm afraid William will be disturbed. I pretended to be considerate to discuss with William's grandman. At this moment, my heart is collapsing. What does it look like the first time a newly married couple comes home? How can they sleep in separate rooms? It is unlucky. William's grandmother lowered her face and looked at me reproachfully. I really want to shout, I am a damn fake wife. Good, so it is decided. It doesn't matter. William won't mind your snoring. He will get used to it, William's grandmother said. After William's grandmother left with the nanny, I closed the door and glared at William ferociously. William, did you mean it? Do you want to take advantage of me? So you have tried so hard to share a room with me? You think too much. William looked at me calmly, with a complacent smile on his lips. I stared at his eyes, and he also stared at mine. The two of us stared at each other for a long time. Finally, I couldn't hold. My eyes were more and more acid and painful. I couldn't help but to stop the ridiculous competition and snorted coldly. I sleep in the bed, you sleep on the sofa, that's it. William said slowly. I never sleep on the sofa. You can choose. Either sleep in the bed with me, or go to sleep alone on the sofa. Sleep in a bed with you? You wish. I looked at him disdainfully. Now I can be sure, this guy just wants to take advantage of me. Are you kidding? I'm so strong-willed and smart that I will never let him take advantage of me. So I found a blanket and walked to the sofa with proud steps. I lay down with my clothes and wrapped myself in the blanket. Sleeping in the middle of the night, I woke up from the cold. The blanket on my body was completely useless. Cold air penetrated into my body through the blanket. It was so cold that I couldn't sleep at all. I turned over and saw William sleeping soundly under the quilt. I was so angry that I wanted to swear. I was damn freezing to death, while this man slept so comfortably. So I rushed to William's bedside. I was about to pull off his quilt to cover myself when William opened his eyes. Pull off a man's quilt in the middle of the night? Lizzy, are you too thirsty? I become miffed. You are thirsty. Don't you be ashamed of making me shiver with cold on the sofa while you slept comfortably in a big bed? You can go to bed. I didn't stop you. William squinted at me, looking like a scoundrel. I was so angry that I threw the quilt at him. William, do you believe I would teach you a good lesson? I was just bluffing. I didn't expect William to sit up with great interest. No. His eyes were fixed on me, bright and boning like a small sun. I began to feel flustered again. I stared at him and turned to Lizzy, but he grabbed my arm from behind. William gave me a hard pull, and as soon as I fell on the bed, he rolled over and pushed me up. Didn't you want to teach me a lesson? Lizzy, why did you escape? He whispered in my ear, and his hot breath fell on my earlobe, tingling and itching. What are you doing? Let go of me! I finally realized that the thing was out of control, and I struggled hard. William ignored my resistance. He gently sucked my earlobe and neck, and deliberately teased me with the tip of his tongue. I had goosebumps all over my body, and couldn't help shivering. My voice trembled. William! Stop it, or I'll shout. Just shout. This is fun. Everyone knows, William said, sealed my lips with his lips. His kiss was wild and fierce, and my strength disappeared gradually. At last, my whole brain was dazed. Everything does not exist. The whole world has gone, except for his fevered kiss and hand. I could not help wrapping around his waist with my legs. Do you want me? He propped himself up and looked down at my face. His lips were moist and ruddy with hot kisses. His eyes were full of strong desire. I have to admit, he is hell sexy now. Do you want me? This is a problem. Actually, I do. I'm 27 years old, which is the plumpest and delicious age for women. Once we have had a beautiful experience, we would become extremely sensitive and couldn't resist such romantic affairs. But I'm a celibate. What's more, I don't love him. William saw that I didn't reply and started to search for the private part of my body. Do you want me? He asked again. This time, his hands began to stir up trouble and his movements were dense and meticulous. I was going crazy. Say you want me. He bit my earlobe gently and coaxed me vaguely. Ah, I couldn't say anything at all. My brain has lost its ability to think. I had to cater to the movements of his hands instinctively. His body was crushed down. I was surrounded by tremendous pleasure all of a sudden. The next morning, I got out of bed in a bad mood. I felt ashamed. William whistled recklessly and came to me to wash with me. His face couldn't be better, and he looked glowing. While brushing my teeth, I stared at him intensely, eager to dig a hole in his face with my eyes. You have a very handsome husband, haven't you? He touched his face triumphantly and winked at me. I didn't want to look at him, swallowed back the words. William, this is seduction. Forget it, it just happened. What's the point of discussing this now? I'm ready to let William go, and he leaned in shamelessly. I remember someone once said that my skills on the bed were not good. Well, have you changed your mind after last night? My face flushed, but I pretended to be tough. So I sneered, not that bad. Don't flatter yourself, okay? Not that bad? William wiped the water off his face at random, stretched out his hand and grabbed my chin. Are you sure? I knocked off his hand and said in a proud voice, Do you want me to praise you for your serving me well last night? How much should I pay for you? Ha! William smiled and stared at my neck intentionally. Lizzy, don't be so tough. Is it that hard to tell the truth? I looked in the mirror and found astonishingly that my neck was full of hickeys. In the morning, I met William's parents. William's mother's name is Wendy Zoe. William's father often appears on TV news, so I won't mention his name. When they saw me, they obviously paused for a moment, like William's grandparents, but soon returned to nature. What the hell? I was curious and confused, but I could only smile. Dad, Mom, I blushed and smiled and acted vividly to be a shyly bride who met her parents-in-laws the first time. William's father nodded. Zoe, you have done a good job of keeping secrets. We knew nothing about the marriage in advance. It's funny. His son proposed the flash marriage. I have nothing to do with it. Before I could speak, William said, Dad, it was my thoughtlessness. It has nothing to do with Lizzy. The wedding was also a temporary event. So I brought her back as soon as we got the marriage certificate. Nonsense, Wendy Zoe, who had not spoken, whispered. Marriage is not a child's play. You've only known each other for a few days. How could you marry so fast? Wendy has fair skin and graceful manners. When she was young, she must be very gorgeous. She is so graceful even when she is angry. I watched the middle-aged Belle nearby, listening to her son fighting with her. Mom, I fell in love with Lizzy at first sight. I just want to marry her soon and bring her home. Love at first sight? I almost laughed out loud. It's no wonder that William can be the president. Few people can match their ability to tell lies so boldly. Sure enough, Wendy also laughed. She seemed to try to say something, but in the end, she didn't say anything. As you wish. However, I remind you that marriage is not a joke. Your social status and life experience are different. There's still a lot of space for you to be adjusted, Wendy said coldly. I know that she said this to William on the surface, but she actually said it to me. Don't you just want to imply that I'm not that qualified for your family? Don't look down on people. I suddenly pulled William's arm up in a mischievous way, pouting and playing coquetry with him. William, do you hear that? Mom said that we should take the time to go on well with each other. If we quarrel or have any different opinions later, you have to make compromises. I shook his arm, pretending to be delicate. I tried to irritate her in this way. I wanted her to accept the fact that once we get married, her son is my husband who should always take care of me. I don't care what she thinks. I glanced at Wendy. Sure enough, her face was not very good-looking and looked at her with hatred. I stopped when I felt satisfied with the result. I was about to draw back my arm when William put his arms around my waist. If you behave, I will promise you. He looked at me with a smile. His eyes were full of spoil. Oh my God, I was sick of his performance. He deserves a reward for his performance. I was almost believed that he was an affectionate husband, spoiling his wife. I smiled at him. Wow, great. I really didn't expect William to cooperate so much. I couldn't help peeking at Wendy. Her eyes were cold and sharp. In the afternoon, William and I returned to the city and went back to our respective homes. Caddy called me as soon as I entered my residential area. How about Mrs. Chuang? I called you last night, and your cell phone was turned off. How was your wedding night? Katie had a teasing tone. The battery is dead. It's charging, I said guiltily. Nice try, Lizzy. Have you learned to lie? Katie's excitement could be felt through the phone. Hurry up. What happened last night? I simply accepted it. What else do you think will happen if a man and a woman stay in the same room at night? Ah! Katie's screams nearly shattered my eardrum. I thought she would ask about the details. But she totally surprised me. How was it? Did Mr. Chuang make you happy last night? Were you enjoying yourself? I was speechless. Come on, don't be embarrassed. We are such good friends. We can share every secret. Katie was very sad. Nice try, Lizzy. Have you learned to lie? Katie's excitement could be felt through the phone. Hurry up. What happened last night? I simply accepted it. What else do you think will happen if a man and a woman stay in the same room at night? I simply accepted it. What else do you think will happen if a man and a woman stay in the same room at night? I couldn't help but shout, "You are an unlucky woman who has never slept with men for 28 years. What can you share with me? Forget about it." After rebuked, Katie was still happy. Hey, Lizzy, you are so lucky that your position at Liam Corporation is stabilized. You win the identification of Mrs. Chuang and the beautiful body of Mr. Chuang. I'm sick and tired, I sighed. I regret that I did not control my desire and messed up with William again. I am a superficial woman, a woman who is not divorced from the vulgar taste, and a woman who cannot control her own desire. This kind of cognition makes me feel depressed. When I got home, My mother still praised me. Lizzy, it's right for you to take part in the activities organized by the company on weekends. Going out for a walk will helpful for your spirit. Look at you. You look perfect. I blushed and stammered a few words and asked my mother, "Where's Vivian? Didn't she have no classes on Sunday afternoon?" She got a call and went out, saying it was a reunion and she would be back later. So, I didn't take it seriously. My sister has always been very good. It will not cause any trouble. However, my sister came back very late. My mother nagged unhappily. "How could you come back so late? Even you stayed with your classmates. You should keep in contact with us. You don't know how much I was worried about you when you were not available on the phone. Since when you are so ignorant?" "Forget it. It won't happen again, right?" I took care of my sister and pushed her into the bathroom. "Go take a bath." My sister is shorter than me. I lowered my head and suddenly saw small red marks on her back neck. I narrowed my eyes in surprise. The red mark. What is going on? "Vivian, what happened to your neck?" I reached for her collar. My sister stepped back in surprise, covering her neckline. She looked at me blankly, and her eyes suddenly turned red. As if a thunder burst from my head, my heart ached. "Vivian, what's wrong with you? Speak up." I rushed to pull my sister's clothes. The moment her clothes were torn apart, I gasped. Her chest, from the clavicle down, is full of hickeys. Under the constant pressure of my mother and me, my sister cried and told the whole thing. At the reunion, she felt dizzy and groggy after drinking a cup of drink, and went to the wrong box, and was molested by a strange man. Did he touch you? My mother was hard to speak out that word. I mean, did he do that you? Did he? I interrupted my mother, directly asked my sister, "Did he rape you?" Sister's face was full of tears, shaking her head. No. My mother and I looked at each other and were relieved. Fortunately, it is not rape. Otherwise, it will be too much physical and mental damage to my sister. The next day, my sister was still upset and didn't want to go to school. I was worried about her, so I took a day off at home to accompany her and popularize some knowledge of girls' protection for her. In the afternoon, William called me. "Why didn't you come to the company today?" I took my cell phone and went to the balcony to pick it up for fear of being heard by my family. There is something to deal with at home, so I have to ask for leave. What can I do for you? William did not answer my question and asked me, "What's the matter at home?" It's nothing. I just prevaricated. "You are not feeling ill, are you?" William's voice suddenly dropped with some malicious ambiguity. My face blushed. I didn't know how to answer, so I had to pretend that I didn't understand. "Why should I feel sick? Can't you stop cursing me?" William chuckled. "Last night you did too much exercise and no time to sleep. I'm afraid you were too tired." "Shame on him. I knew he was not that kind." I sneered. "Maybe it's you who were too tired. After all, you are aged. Your body functions decline, so you do not like our young people." William is 32 years old, 5 years older than me. William still smiled. "Lizzy, are you making the next challenge? Are you still not satisfied, so you want to try it again? Get out." I hung up the phone quickly and my heart was pounding. Standing on the balcony and looking at the boundless world of mortals outside, I felt perplexed. I found that I seemed to like William a little. Does it because of the passion between us? I don't know. Beep beep, the phone rang again. I picked it up and found Katie calling. "Lizzy, you missed a big event today." Katie excitedly gossiped with me. "What is it?" I asked casually without hope. Katie's gossip is of poor quality. "Our salary has been raised. Please check your work email to see the latest email from the finance department. Mr. Chuang personally approved it." Really? This is not like Liam Corporation's stingy style. I was very happy. "Really? We are all excited." Katie laughed. I heard from the CEO that Mr. Chuang was in a very good mood today, smiling and glowing. Secretary Zhang accidentally spilled coffee on him. He didn't blame her either, but comforted her amiably. "Is it?" I didn't smile. Secretary Zhang must be flattered, didn't she? All the coquettes have been trying so hard to attract William's attention. "Hey, Lizzy, Do you think William gave us a raise to celebrate his wedding? Bullshit. It's just a false marriage to cheat elders. Are you still serious? I said. But I started to suspect his real motivation. William is in a good mood. Is it really related to our marriage? Would it be really like what Katie said? He likes me, so he tried to live with me by the excuse of false marriage? The next morning, I got up early. I took a bath and dressed up. I chose the lipstick of delicate peach blossom red and wore high heels of 10 centimeters. With faint expectation, I arrived at the company. However, nothing happened all morning. William did not find me at all. What I am facing was still monotonous and repetitive work, and I still had to cheer up and do my best. After a day like this, I worked a little extra shift in the evening. I was just about to leave the office when William called me. Come to my office. His voice is magnetic and pleasing. I waited for him for a day, so my tone was somehow chagrined and blunt. Why? It's time to leave. Yes, it's closing time, so your current identity is Mrs. Chuang. William threatened me. Don't forget, the agreement says that you should cooperate with my acting to deal with the elders. Have your parents come to see you? I said coldly. My grandmother will talk with me by video later. Come here so that she can see her granddaughter-in-law. I see. I appeared coldly in William's office with a full face of reluctance and unhappiness. William took my chin lovingly. What's the matter? Who messed with you? I raised my hand to knock off his hand. Aren't you very busy? Why don't you keep on working but molest a good woman? William looked down at me for a while, then suddenly smiled. I didn't contact you today. Are you angry? I didn't expect him to be so smart, panicked. Don't talk nonsense. I'm not that boring. I twisted my head unnaturally and did not dare to look into his eyes. William held up my chin and smiled. I was very busy today. I had a meeting all day and didn't have time to eat lunch. I come to see you as soon as I was free. Are you satisfied? He coaxed me with the tone of coaxing a child. His voice was so gentle. My heart began to thump again. I was so scared that he would hear my heartbeat. I wanted to push him away, but he pulled me into his arms and hugged me tightly. I didn't hug him back or push him away. We held each other quietly for a while. He buried his head in my hair and asked me, "What shampoo do you use? It smells so good." Poison. Anyone who smells the fragrance. As long as he walks out of the 7 steps, he will die of bleeding eyes. Nose and mouth. I'm talking nonsense solemnly. No, sweetheart, it must be filter. William started to tease me again, and his kisses fell down my forehead and eyes. I sighed sadly. William, do we really have to be friends with benefits for a year? William frowned. Lizzy, can you speak a little bit coarser? Am I wrong? Only sex without love? What will you call it? I carefully tested him, testing my position in his heart. William sneered. Then you should be glad that you have found a first-class friend with benefit who has a good figure, high facial expression, and first-class skills. His face darkened, and he stopped embracing me. He pushed me away and walked to the desk and sat down. To be honest, my heart is very uncomfortable. My intuition is right. He doesn't love me. He just loves my body. I shook my head and assumed a more cool attitude than he did. You have nothing to complain about. I have a good figure, high facial value, first-class skills, and a much higher personality than you. William laughed. First-class skill. Lizzy, do you think lying in bed without moving is the first class? His face was full of disdain, and his tone was full of provocation. I was really mad at him. I walked to his desk and learned the way he used to treat me, reaching for his chin. William, dare you to say you don't enjoy it. Aren't you anxious to die on me? The words were explicit and obscene. But I couldn't care less. I can't lose the fight. William did not speak. Squinting at me, his eyes flashed with light I couldn't understand. I was somewhat alarmed by him. I pinched him severely and was ready to withdraw. William said behind me sarcastically, Is that it? It scared me to death. I thought you could do something more interesting for me. I suddenly turned and stopped. Do you really think I can't scare you? William snorted. Would you like to try? Stupid man. I walked back to him with my high heels, lifted my skirt and straddled his legs. William, don't move. Feel my skills carefully. After a series of unspeakable movement, William's eyes turned red. I thought it was time to leave, smiled sweetly. Wait for me, there will be more fun. I stepped down from his legs and headed for the office gate. What are you doing? William finally realized something was wrong and sat up straight, staring at me. Go home. I looked back and smiled. Mr. Chuang, are you feeling a little uncomfortable now? It doesn't matter. You can do it yourself, or take a cold shower. There are many ways. I will not teach you one by one. Goodbye. I escaped from William's office, thinking of his untidy clothes and insatiable desire, and I felt very funny. Then I wanted to cry. What a damn shit. I am a decent young woman. How can I become a friend with benefits? That night, William ran to my house to find me. In his car, we experienced that beautiful thing again. I found in despair that this relationship has been firmly labeled as passion without love. He and I, who have obtained marriage certificates, are the damn legal friends with benefit. We enjoy the moment. Our bodies are well getting used to each other. We have a lot of perfect moments. William is getting better and better to me and spoiling me more and more, but I know that all this is just an illusion. He doesn't love me. This relationship lasted for 3 months. Until that day, I saw a woman at the front desk of the company. It was a woman with a stunning side face. She has a slim figure, fashionable dress, and a good temperament. I heard her say to the receptionist, I want to see William. Please inform him. The front desk clerk asked her, Do you have an appointment? No. However, I think he will meet me. My name is Luna Ford. As the woman said, she seemed to realize that someone was looking at her and turned to me. At the moment when my eyes were opposite, I saw her face clearly. She has a pure and beautiful face with a cinnabar mole between her eyebrows. Suddenly, my air castle collapsed completely. I finally understand why William kissed my eyebrows over and over again on the night of the bar for the first time. I finally understand why the elders of Chuang's would be shocked to see my face. I have a cinnabar mole between my eyebrows too. It turns out that I'm not even a friend of benefit. I had been being a pathetic substitute. Luna sat opposite me in the cafe with elegant posture and delicate makeup. Miss Zoe, this is 300,000 yuan. Please take it. I hope you could divorce William. Luna's lips lit up. She looked at me quietly with her beautiful eyes and handed me a card. I have to admit that she and William are the same kind of people, smart, calm, good at using money to communicate. I shrugged as if I didn't care. Fine, as long as William agrees, I can go to the divorce formalities immediately. Luna smiled charmingly. William certainly has no problem. I have already told him. I also smiled. Really? Then why William doesn't come to discuss the thing with me in person? Because you have a 1-year agreement. William is the man who has always kept his words. Luna smiled faintly. I see. He's afraid of paying the default fine of 1 million yuan. I sneer. It's okay. I made a lot of money from divorce in advance. With your 300,000 yuan and his 1 million yuan, I can lead a good life for the next few years. You can accept it willingly. That's the best, Luna said cautiously. Go back and inform William. See him tomorrow at the Civil Affairs Bureau. I picked up the card and stood up to leave. Luna suddenly stopped me. Miss Zoe, is your cinnabar mole between your eyebrows natural or tattooed? My heart ached like being stabbed by a knife, but I still smiled sweetly. Secret. Then I turned and left, and my tears poured out. I didn't wipe them. I don't want Luna to see. 300,000 yuan is good enough for me to splurge for a while. Neither man nor love is reliable. Only money will not fail us. When I got home, before I could pretend to be happy as usual, I heard my mother crying, "You're silly girl. Are you going to drive me crazy? You are only 17 years old. Why should I suffer from this? My eldest daughter can't get married. Now my younger daughter is unmarried, pregnant. Pregnant before marriage?" I was shocked by these horrible words. I slammed the door and rushed into the bedroom. "Mom, what did you just say? Who do you say is pregnant before marriage?" My sister was sitting on the bed, in the bedroom with her head down and her face was swollen with tears. "It's her. How shameful. Last time she said that man didn't touch her. Lizzy, look at her." My mother tore open my sister's school uniform and pointed to her stomach. "Her stomach is too big to hide it." I was panicked and asked my sister, "Who did it? Is that the man last time? Why did you say he didn't touch you? What the hell is going on?" "No." My sister threw herself into my arms and burst into tears. "I'm frightened, sister. I'm so afraid. I didn't know I was going to get pregnant. I didn't know." My heart was sore and painful. Holding my sister, I comforted her and shed tears. My mother also cried. "Silly girl, if you admitted that day, you would have been fine after taking contraceptive pills. Now it's been a few months and you have to have an abortion. You are only 17 years old. How could you do this to yourself, to us?" "Why?" We cried for a while. I grabbed my cell phone and said, "Make an appointment for maternity check tomorrow." After the appointment, I said to my sister, "Go wash your face and let's go to the police station." My mother was shocked. "Why do you go to the police station?" "Report a rape crime of an underage girl. It is a felony," I said calmly. My mother began to cry again. "No, think about it. Your sister is only 17 years old. If our neighbors know it, she cannot lead a normal life, not to mention to go to school." "Then what should I do? Let that bastard get away with it? No way. If he has escaped this time, he will hurt more girls next time." My mother knelt down suddenly. "Lizzy, I know you are righteous and you can't tolerate any stains, but look at your sister. She is only a 17-year-old child. If such a scandal comes out, she will not lead a normal life." My sister also knelt down and begged me, "Sister, don't report it, okay? I'm so frightened." I admit that I am a wimp. I chose to compromise and did not report the case. The next day, we accompanied my sister, wearing masks, drove to the farthest hospital for abortion. When I was waiting outside, I received a phone call from William. "Where are you?" His voice seemed gaunt and moody. I was also in a bad mood, so I was not intending to talk with him for a long time. "Are you asking for the divorce thing? Fine. I have something to do today. 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. I'll meet you at the gate of the Civil Affairs Bureau." As soon as I finished speaking, I hung up the phone and didn't even want to say a word. He and I met each other by chance. Indeed, we shared a temporary moment. But now, Luna has come back. William had to get rid of the wife who was in the way and have a happy ending with his true love as soon as possible. It doesn't matter. I wish him well. But why my heart hurts so much that I can hardly breathe. When the doctor finished the examination of my younger sister, he told us bad news. My sister's uterus is underdeveloped, and the wall of the uterus is too thin. If she has an abortion, she will probably be infertile in the future. My mother and sister and I were sitting on the bench in the corner of the hospital, without any words. My mother's eyes are swollen because of crying for too long. She looked at me blankly and sobbed after a while. "Save the baby," I said. I have calmed down. There are enough sufferings and misfortunes in life. How about a little more? Nothing will be changed. It's not the end of the world. It's no big deal. My mother wiped her tears again. How can we hide the baby from others? Yes, this is a problem. After all, it is my sister's own child and my niece. We can't send it to the charity house. However, how to solve the problem of children's identity? I frowned for a long time. An idea slowly rose from my mind. Mom, just say the child is mine. I said excitedly. I'm 27 years old, and having a baby is not a big deal. Besides, William came to my house several times. The whole community knows that I have a handsome boyfriend. Having children out of wedlock with a boyfriend is not so respectable, but it is not shocking. Is that all right? My mother is still worried. Lizzy, this will affect your future marriage. Let's leave it for the future. I didn't intend to get married. It happens to have Vivian's child as mine. It's a win-win plan. My mood gradually improved, and I saw the hope of life.